FPL Gameweek26 team selection. What is up, everyone? How's it going? FPL Era here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. A good evening of FPL last night, and as you can tell by the title, we reached the 100 club in double Gameweek25, but more importantly, we got that green arrow, and we're now sitting at 46k overall. We can't dwell on that too much though, as the Gameweek26 deadline is around the corner. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I fit out in double Gameweek25, and we're also going to look at my transfer plans and team selection of Gameweek26. We've lots to discuss. Let's get into the video. So before we get into today's video, let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video. Head on down there, give the video a like. And if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, it's nearly 70% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed to the channel. So if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, head on down there, click subscribe and support the channel. So here's a quick look back to double game week 25, 101 points for the week, technically 97 with that -4 hit, but I don't care, I'm still chalking it down that we hit the 100 club in double game week 25. I did take a -4, taking out Gordon and David Moyes, and brought in Rodgers and Emery for the double gaming to try and capitalise on Villa's two fixtures. It didn't start off great with Villa drawn to Ipswich, and especially with Ipswich down to 10 men for more than half the game, you would have expected Villa to come away with a win, but unfortunately they didn't. Rodgers drew a blank in that game and also in the game last night, so pretty disappointing returns from Rodgers. I've got the Ipswich keeper to blame, who kept him out on 2 occasions, and he probably could have came with a return last night against Liverpool. But looking at Emery, a good evening last night for FPL, with Emery coming away with a draw and coming away with 14 points for the double game week. We then move on to our Liverpool assets over the double game week, starting off with Mo Salah, once again coming up trumps from the armband. 40 points from the captaincy, 2 goals and an assist over the 2 games. Even though Salah did come away with 40 points, he had a relatively quiet 2 games, a goal from the spot against Wolves, a gifted goal from Aston Villa last night, and he came away with a jammy assist for Trent's goal. So probably rather fortunate to come away with 40 points, but we're not complaining at that. If you did triple captain him, fair play, that was a lovely haul. If you think Mo Salah's haul was lucky over the double game week, what about Trent Alexander-Arnold's double-digit return? Starting off in the Wolves game, he came off just after the 60-minute mark to lock in that Liverpool clean sheet. Only then for a couple of minutes later, Cunha to wipe out that Liverpool clean sheet. So we had Trent's clean sheet locked in, and then Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate and Robertson all lost their clean sheets. So I was happy to come away with that. And then even last night then in the Villa game, he scored just after the 60-minute mark, and a couple of minutes later he was subbed off for Conor Bradley. 13 points from Trent over the double game week was a lovely return, and very fortunate also. My Liverpool luck definitely ran out with Cody Gakpo. Rewinding back to Slot's press conference last Friday, he said he was a doubt for the Wolves game, so he thought he would have got a couple of minutes in that Wolves game and probably was in line to start that Aston Villa game, but it wasn't to be. He missed out in the double game completely, and that made me miss out on Ollie Watkins' 15-point haul over the 2 fixtures. So if you did bring in Watkins for Gakpo, fair play, that was some return. Going through the rest of my team with returns, it was great to see Chris Wood pick up a goal away to Fulham, and he came away with all 3 bonus points for a 9-point return. As we all know, he's been Mr. Consistent all season, and he won't be leaving the team anytime soon. Kluivert's missus gave birth to their child on Friday, but he was able to play the Southampton game on Saturday. He picked up an assist in that game for a 5-point return. Probably unlucky not to come away with any more points, but I'm looking forward to the next few fixtures for Bournemouth with a nice run over the next couple of games. Gabriel then also picked up a clean sheet in the early kickoff away to Leicester, so some nice returns all around there. With Gakpo missing out, Van den Berg is subbing in there, so we finished off the game week with 101 points, and more importantly, we got that green arrow. We're still inside the top 50k, sitting at 46k overall. With the game week 26 deadline tomorrow, it's time to move on now, and let's have a look at my transfer plans ahead of tomorrow's deadline. So looking at my transfer plans ahead of the Game Week 26 deadline, we're going to start off and chat about the assistant manager chip. If you like myself and activated it back in double Game Week 24, Game Week 26 is the last week we can have the assistant manager chip in our team. We haven't done too badly so far. Back in double game week 24 with David Moyes for 22 points, and obviously Emery last week in double game week 25 for 14 points. So 36 points so far from the assistant manager isn't too shabby at all. If you brought in Slot, you're probably disappointed with the fact that he drew with Everton and Aston Villa last night. So not the best return from the Liverpool manager. You probably would have expected to win at least 3 games, if not the 4 of them, over the last 4 game weeks. But we'll chat about my transfer plans in a bit. If you're looking to make an assistant manager transfer this week, there's 6 options or 6 possibilities where you can get some table bonus in these fixtures. So you've got Van Nistelrooy at home to Brentford, Potter away to Arsenal, Vito Pereira away to Bournemouth, Kieran McKenna at home to Spurs, Ivan Juric at home to Brighton, and Oliver Glasner away to Fulham. Out of those 6 managers or 6 games, I probably would be leaning towards Kieran McKenna at home to Spurs. They did beat them in the reverse fixture earlier on the season. Spurs very much out of form at the moment, so if you are looking to get some table bonus, I probably would look towards Kieran McKenna. as I do think that we'll get something out of that game. So going back to my own team and look at my transfer plans ahead of tomorrow's deadline, I have only got one free transfer to use, and I have that issue around Gakpo with his ankle injury, so I'm going to have to use my transfer to sort out that Gakpo issue. So if I was looking to get rid of Emery, it'd have to be for a hit. If I wanted to bring in the likes of McKenna, for example, against Spurs to try and capitalise on that table bonus, it would be for a -4. So I'm going to refrain from removing Emery. I'm going to look towards keeping him. He is up against Chelsea at home, and we all know Chelsea are well out of form at the moment. So there's every chance Emery can come away with a draw or even a win in that game. So I'm going to hold off on making the move and avoid taking the hit. If you do have Slot in your team also, and you've only one free transfer like myself, I don't think I'd even use a transfer on getting rid of Slot. Man City are well out of form, knocked out of the Champions League last night by Madrid. I'm expecting Liverpool to bounce back after that draw against Villa last night, and I will be expecting a Slot win. So if you have Slot, only one free transfer, keep Slot in your team also. If you have 2, 3, even 4 transfers, there's nothing wrong, and you are chasing rank also, there's absolutely nothing wrong with trying to capitalise on the table bonus, taking out Slot, even Emery for example, if you do have the free transfers available, and bringing in the likes of McKenna and try and get some table bonus points there. But as I said, Emery is staying in my team, it's not worth the hit. So with Emery staying in my team, we're then moving on to my actual transfer plans ahead of tomorrow's deadline. I'm looking at taking out Gakpo and bringing in Cunha of Wolves. Slot said today that Gakpo should be fit for the Man City game at the weekend, but I don't think it's worth holding him in the team. I'm looking towards Cunha. Wolves have a nice run of fixtures over the next couple of game weeks against Bournemouth, Fulham, Everton and Southampton, and especially with Gakpo missing out in blank Gameweek 29, bringing in Cunha gives me additional player for Gameweek 29, and he's that lovely fixture against Southampton, so that's why I'm looking towards bringing him in, and fingers crossed we can get a few returns over the next couple of game weeks. So moving on to my potential lineup ahead of tomorrow's deadline, here's how we're shaping up. Starting off with the assistant managership, Emery is staying in the team at home to Chelsea, out of form Chelsea side, so I wouldn't be too surprised if Villa do get something out of that game, whether that be a draw or a win. Fingers crossed for a win, but more realistically thinking it's probably going to be a draw. But if I do avoid taking the hit, I'm happy enough if he does come away with that draw. We then move on to my defence, and starting off in goals, we've got Jordan Pickford against Man United in the early kick-off on Saturday. Not a good time to be a Man United fan at the moment. A very disappointing loss against Spurs last week, and a lot of firepower missing in that starting 11. Ahmed out for the season, Manu out as well now, so I'm not sure where the goals are going to come from Man United. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Pickford does pick up a clean sheet in that game on Saturday. And if he does pick up a few save points, that could easily be a double-digit return from the England number 1. Moving on to the back three, we'll start off with Trent Alexander-Arnold coming off the back of that double-digit return in double Gameweek 25. He's away to City on Sunday. I'm not expecting a clean sheet for Liverpool in this game. I'm expecting goals in the Etihad in that game. But with Trent, there's always a chance of an attacking return. He did get his goal against Villa last night. He did only play 60 minutes also. Bradley came off with another injury after he was subbed on for Trent, so you would expect Trent to play the full game. Fingers crossed Bradley might be alright for the weekend and we could get a sneaky sub off Trent after the 60-minute mark if Liverpool haven't conceded, but let's see how that one plays out. On to Robinson then, at home to Crystal Palace. Again, not expecting a clean sheet from Robinson in this game. Only one clean sheet for Fulham in their last 8 games. But with Robinson, similar to Trent, there's always a chance of an attacking return. 10 assists for the Fulham left back all season, so he's been a joy to own since they brought him into the team earlier on the season. And then on to Gabriel. Fair enough, I'm not expecting a clean sheet from Robinson or Trent, but I am expecting a clean sheet from Gabriel at home to West Ham. Fingers crossed he can get one, and likewise with Robinson and Trent, there's always a chance of an attacking return from Gabriel, so let's see how that one plays out. Moving on to my 4-man midfield, we're going to start off with Morgan Rogers. A disappointing return from the Englishman over the double game week last week. We've already spoken about Aston Villa and Emery in the team, so let's see if Morgan Rogers can get amongst returns in that Chelsea game and help me on my way to a haul from Emery with the assistant manager chip. Cole Palmer's only got 1 return in his last 4 games, so it shows when Palmer's out of form, Chelsea are very much out of form, but I am expecting goals in that Aston Villa game, so let's see how Palmer gets on there. Cliver picked up an assist against Southampton, as we all know last week. He's up against Wolves at home, and Bournemouth are very much in free-flowing scoring form at the moment, so I'm expecting a few returns from Cliver in that game. And looking at the captaincy, who else but Mo Salah for the armband this week, up against Man City in that clash on Super Sunday. I'm expecting Liverpool to pick up 3 points after a disappointing draw against Villa last night. I'm expecting a return from Salah. Fingers crossed he can get amongst returns. Alexander Isak, Matheus Cunha and Chris Wood complete my starting 11, and we're going to start off with Chris Wood and Alexander Isak as they're up against each other in Gameweek 26. I'm expecting Newcastle and Isak to bounce back after the disappointing defeat against City in Gameweek 25. Looking at Isak, it's not great seeing Wilson coming off the bench, because when he does come off the bench, Isak pushes out to the left, but I do think there's plenty of time before Wilson comes on for Isak to get amongst returns. And then looking at Chris Wood, all he needs is one chance. He's been Mr. Consistent all season, but I am expecting both teams to score in that game, so let's see if Isak and Wood can get on the score sheet once again. I haven't made the move yet, but it's looking very likely for Matheus Cunha to come in for Cody Gakpo ahead of Gameweek26. Looking at Cunha, 2 goals in his last 2 games, and as we already spoke about earlier, he's got a lovely run of fixtures over the next couple of game weeks, and especially in blank Gameweek29 in that Southampton game. So we'll be looking out for some Cunha returns over the next few weeks. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video. Head on down there, drop the video a like, and if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. We're trying to get close to 10k subs before the end of the season. We've got some work to do, but I really would appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, head on down there, click subscribe, and support the channel. It really does help me out a lot. As soon as I post this video, I'm going to have to get on the road quickly and head towards Dublin as I'm heading to the darts in the Tree Arena tonight. So if you do see me, make sure you say hello. And then tomorrow then, I have to drive back to Galway, make sure I get a deadline stream sorted, and then I'll be heading towards Eamon DC Park for the Galway United versus St. Pat's game. Thanks for watching. Best of luck for the week. I'll see you all on tomorrow's deadline stream. We'll see you then.